Rain fell for 40 days, but according to ancient texts, the terror lasted far longer than that. An entire world drowned beneath black water. Cities vanished, families disappeared, bodies floated through the ruins of civilization, while one massive wooden vessel drifted across an endless sea. And for thousands of years, people have asked the same question: did Noah's Ark actually exist, or was it the greatest survival story in human history covering up something even darker? Tonight, we investigate the real history, the ancient evidence, and the disturbing mystery behind Noah's Ark. If you enjoy historically accurate crime, mysteries, and forgotten history, subscribe to A Veil of Crime. And if you'd like to support my channel, you can buy me a coffee. The link is on the bio. The story of Noah's Ark appears in the book of Genesis, but flood stories are far older than the Bible itself. Ancient Mesopotamian civilizations, including Sumerians, Akkadians, and Babylonians, all recorded terrifying flood legends centuries before the biblical account was written down. One of the oldest comes from the Epic of Gilgamesh, a text dating back more than 4,000 years. In it, a man named Utnapishtim is warned by the gods that humanity will be destroyed by a catastrophic flood. He is ordered to build a giant boat, bring animals aboard, and survive the destruction of the world. Sound familiar? Historians believe the biblical story of Noah was heavily influenced by earlier Mesopotamian flood traditions, especially during the period when the Hebrews lived in Babylon exile around the 6th century BC. But that raises a chilling question. Why did so many unrelated civilizations preserve the story of a massive flood? Ancient China had flood myths, so did Greece, India, the Americas. Even isolated tribal cultures describe a world-ending deluge. Some historians believe these stories may preserve memories of a real catastrophic flooding event at the end of the last ice age, when rising sea levels swallowed entire coastal civilizations. Others believe something far more literal happened. According to Genesis, Noah lived in a violent and corrupt world. The text describes humanity as filled with evil, bloodshed, and moral decay. In many ways, it reads less like mythology and more like a crime report against civilization itself. God decides to destroy the world with a flood, but Noah is described as righteous, a man chosen to survive. He is instructed to build an enormous ark using gopher wood, though historians still debate what type of wood that actually was. The Bible gives exact measurements: 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, 30 cubits high. Using the most common estimate for a cubit, the ark would have been roughly 510 feet long, larger than many ancient warships and enormous for the Bronze Age. Inside were to be animals, food, Noah's family, and enough supplies to survive months trapped at sea. Then the rain began. Most children's versions of Noah's Ark skip over the horrifying reality of this story. This was not a peaceful floating zoo. According to the text, every living thing outside of the ark died. Men, women, children, animals. Entire cities vanished beneath water. If viewed through a historical crime lens, Noah's flood becomes one of the deadliest mass death events ever recorded in human storytelling. And the details become even darker when you calculate the timeline. The rain lasted 40 days, but Noah and his family remained aboard the ark for over a year. Imagine the smell, the disease, rotting waste, dead animals floating outside, no land in sight, just silence and water. Some scholars believe the ark story survived because it captured a deep human fear: total extinction. For centuries, explorers have searched for physical evidence of Noah's Ark. Most searches focus on Mount Ararat, where Genesis claims the ark eventually came to rest. Over the years, multiple expeditions claim to find strange wooden structures buried in ice or rock formations shaped like ships. One of the most famous sites is the Dorupinor Formation in Turkey, a massive boat-shaped geological structure discovered in the 20th century. Some believers argue the dimension roughly matches the ark described in Genesis. Others claim radar scans revealed internal compartments. But most mainstream archaeologists remain skeptical. Many scientists believe the formation is entirely natural, and no verified evidence has ever conclusively proven the Ark existed. Still, the mystery refuses to die, because even modern satellite imagery continues to fuel speculation. And in isolated mountain regions near Ararat, locals still tell stories of ancient wood trapped high in the ice. But perhaps the biggest mystery isn't whether the Ark existed. Maybe it's why the flood stories appear everywhere. Some researchers believe these legends preserved memories of real prehistoric disasters passed down through generations. At the end of the Ice Age, sea levels rose dramatically across the planet. Entire coastlines disappeared underwater. Human settlements may have been destroyed so quickly that survivors turned the trauma into sacred stories. Others argue the flood story was symbolic, a warning about corruption, violence, and societal collapse. A civilization so consumed by brutality, it destroyed itself. In that interpretation, Noah's Ark becomes less about animals and more about survival when humanity turns monstrous. Whether Noah's Ark was literal history, symbolic storytelling, or a distorted memory of ancient catastrophe, its power has survived for thousands of years. Because beneath the animals and rainbows lies something much darker, a story about judgment, fear, death, and the desperate hope that something might survive at the end of the world. And somewhere high in the mountains of Turkey, people are still searching for the Ark. If you enjoyed this episode of A Veil of Crime, subscribe for more historically accurate mysteries, disappearances, crimes, and forgotten history. And if you'd like to support the channel and help keep these stories alive, check out Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the bio. Until next time, some mysteries never stay buried.